in the background, okay, crime is down. Our boy is live. Let me get my hat together. I'm put on this one. Welcome to the show. Hit the subscribe button, please. Donate inside the Cash App right over here. We're gonna get this thing going on live right now, and let me allow y'all to see exactly what I'm up here shouting about. I gotta do like this. Ooh, I am doing too much. I was out looking for a radio for my dad. You know, he needs one of them turn the knob radio. And I mean, let's get this show started.
Delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
All right.
Enter the all-new
Look, they love coming.
Unleashed, where horror comes to play.
What's the average Chicagoan
Here
saying about these potential plans?
Well, a lot of people are very angry about this. They do not want the National Guard to come in to their city. But there's also people I spoke with who say that maybe that could help because the problem of crime is very real.
I think he needs to send them right away, like today, because it's just a lot going on, and it's like the people are against the police, so we need to bring reinforcements in to establish law and order, because it's crazy out here. Yeah. Seriously.
If they're gonna say that crime is down, they need to start doing press conferences on my side of the city. I want for the Republicans and the Democrats to sit down and come up with a comprehensive, cohesive plan for American citizens. I want them both to stop the political theater.
Pause. Don't do this whole both sides thing, because the Democrats been in control of your area for forever, and this is the condition that we have. The issue with your area is the soft on crime policies coming from those who y'all put in office. That's the bottom line. If you had tougher crime policies, then you wouldn't have as much crime. So since your crime policies are lax, now we got to surge officers into your area, National Guard or whatever, just to increase security, just to improve security. But another way to improve security would be to lock those up who commit the crimes consistently and regularly. Like the guy showed earlier from DC talking about, they gave me a 3-day hold whenever I get.
Now, that's the part I'm going to go back to. It tripped me out. Trip off of this.
Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. There we go. Here it is. All right. Let me just throw this on the screen. And all right, can we do it this way?
Listen to this.
We'll do it live. Shout out Bill O'Reilly. Okay, let's get some sound. That might help.
3-day hold. Then once the 3-day
hold on.
We're gonna say we're gonna put him on a 3-day hold. Then once the 3-day hold is up, and the one who never shows up. I done been over DC jail 6 times for the same warrant. They never show up. DC jail has to release me. They release me. It's the same thing every time. The same thing every time. The judge is literally gonna say we're gonna put him on a 3-day hold. Then once the 3-day hold is up, and the one who never shows up. I done been over DC jail 6 times for the same warrant. They never show up. DC jail has to release me. They release me. It's the same thing every time. The same thing every time. The judge.
So
do y'all see what it say in the feed? It say DC carjacking suspect arrested doing the same crime crackdown. DC carjacking suspect arrested during the crime crackdown. I have been over to the DC jail 6 times for this same warrant. They never show up. DC jail has to release me. Damn. Do y'all see that now? What? That's what it's saying. That's what's going on. So let's get back to the live show.
How ineffective they are.
Every day, you know.
All right, so there we go. So that's again out there in Chicago. What do y'all think? The guard, because the police are that's happening in your city, you got a problem.
And if that means bring our National Guard in for presence, then so be it, because we got to do something. Children are dying. And I think that the best way that I would say this is that when I went to New York and I saw the National Guard deployed in their subway systems because of people jumping the turnstile, those servicemen were nothing but kind, courteous, and respectful. And at first, I don't even think they had guns. So it's fear of the unknown, but it's what our party does. They don't do their job, and then they point at everybody else who's trying to help.
So my question is, why is that your party? Why do you claim it as your party, our party? Why do you claim it as your party if you can acknowledge that they don't do anything? They say they're going to do something. They say they're going to improve things, and there's no improvements. So why is that your party? So that's again out there in Chicago. What do y'all think? The guard, effective they are?
You got to stop that.
Well, there's crime all over. I mean, it's not just Chicago, it's all over. But I don't think it's something that deserves the National Guards being here. I think that's ridiculous, and I think it's all political.
It's not a good idea. We got police, so what are you sending the National Guard for?
Because the police are not enough, and your police got defunded, didn't you? Plus, y'all cut a lot of city funding in Chicago to pay for the migrants, didn't you? So clearly, y'all need some help. That's why the guard is coming to help.
What are you sending the National Guard for? We got police and everything, so you don't need to send no National Guard. I guess Washington got worse. If you did it in Washington, crime must be worse in Washington and everything, you know.
All right, so there we go. So that's again out there in Chicago. What do y'all think? The guard, should the guard go there? Should the guard
come to Chicago, sir?
Crime must be worse in Washington.
This woman thinks that it should be happening. Okay. Listen, I got sent this. I've seen it kind of floating around. Let's just check it out, shall we? And you see what it says here. Do not come to Chicago. All right. All righty. Let's check it out.
Do not come to Chicago, sir. Do not come to Chicago. My God, the balls. My God, the balls. A Democrat from Illinois has got some balls. Governor Jamie Pritzker, he told the truth about the wannabe dictator. That's the phrase he used, wannabe dictator. Trump would hate that, right? Authoritarian creep. That's another one. He'd hate that too. Who makes up lies for the power he'll reap. It's not to make the country safe. It's not to fight crime. It's all about a power grab for Donald Trump in time.
Mamaw, really? Let's.
You did, y'all see? Now, you know she was reading the script, a real script. And then she was liking that it rhymed. She's probably single. I don't know. It was good. But really, she don't even stay on that side of the town where the majority of that crime is happening. I was telling someone this earlier right at Didi. They don't even live on that side of the town. They don't even drive nowhere by them light poles or anything on the side of that town. So let's get back to it.
Stop. Hey, I don't know where your grandkids at, but somebody please get Mama on the phone and tell her to stop. This is just crazy. And you know what? Not only get her phone, but I need y'all to be monitoring her Facebook page, because who is she following? Is she following Colbert and these guys? Like, what's going on? Let's make sure that Mama is going to be okay in the golden years, rather than being on social media making songs about President Trump. And then for a while we're on beat and then we're off beat. So what do y'all think? Does she have the right idea? Don't come to Chicago. Ultra MAGA, Super MAGA, Dark MAGA. Okay, goon. I ain't gonna say goon because I can't.
So that's Anthony Logan's place, y'all. So feel free to go over there and check it out. He is live right now. Anthony Logan's place. We're 10 minutes into the show. And like I said, I have a Cash App right over here. Cash App. Feel free to donate to the channel so I can start doing more new and interesting things. And man, I hope I can make it to the conference. I may have to buy a last minute ticket this weekend. I don't know. So, because there'll be a lot of shooting videos that I will be doing right out there in Florida if I go to the Black Manosphere Conclave like I did the last couple of years ago. So, dang, I can't believe that being on a 3-day hold after doing the crime, he did it 6 times, not held accountable, not being locked up. Of course, he's going to want to feel emboldened to do it again and again and again because there's no consequences. Hey, so let's see what else is happening. Even the real Dana is on deck. Let's check out another live show. Everybody's going live this evening. Shoot, wait a minute. I cannot believe this. This is Judge Joe Brown. Brown be on this show once in a while. So let's get into it.
Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported. I don't believe that just simply putting out an arbitrary number around police officers is the answer. What I'm saying is policing and affordable housing. It's policing and mental and behavioral health care services. It's policing and youth employment. It's a full package. Of course, we want to make sure that our police department is fully supported. That's why I've invested in our Detectives Bureau, because what we have seen in the city of Chicago, when we solve crime, it acts and serves as a deterrent. It's policing and all of the other efforts that we're doing. Here's the last thing that I'll say to that. The federal government could work stronger to coordinate with my police department to get guns off the streets of Chicago. We've seen these coordination efforts work. Just a couple of weeks ago, the ATF working with my police department, we removed over 150 guns off the streets of Chicago that were trafficked in through Mississippi and Indiana. No one is saying.
See, but yet we still see them flashing guns and stuff all on the internet, willy-nilly patrolling our communities and neighborhoods like it's the thing to do, like we hired them to be security. And if we peek out the door, bang, bang. So, wow. This cat is something else. And I like to say also, fair use to the Real Dana Show. I'm surprised she don't have Judge Joe Brown on. But in some of her other videos, feel free to go over there and subscribe, and you'll get some educational supply of information. Let's get back to the show.
That police officers don't play an incredible role. And here's the most important point here. Justice Brandeis, over 100 years ago, the first Jewish American to sit on the Supreme Court, he said that we could either have a democracy or wealth in the hands of the concentrated few. He said, but we cannot have both. We are fighting for our democracy and our humanity right now. This president's nescience of the Constitution will leave irrevocable harm on posterity. That's why, as mayor of the city of Chicago, we are standing up to tyranny, and American cities across this country are doing the same.
Well, I agree, Mike, and we've talked for endlessly over the past several weeks months about Medicaid cuts.
So let me say this. I'm calling BS on everything your mayor just said, because I'm just going to sum it up. He's saying that, we need funding for this, funding for that, resources for this. Cops are not social workers, blah, 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 blah. Your city alone got $1 billion under the Biden administration. So everything this man is talking about now that he claims that Trump took away and needs to give back or just need to give within 6 months of him just being in office, He got over $1 billion under the Biden administration.
And gave it to illegals.
And gave it to illegals, not to the people, not to these programs to help the people of Chicago, to help the police department, not to curb guns and drugs, not to curb the cartel. It's actually exacerbated.
Exacerbated.
How you say it?
Exacerbated.
Yes. So he's sitting up here on MSNBC.
So when you got NBC up here giving pushback, and then we know that is a liberal channel, man, you know there's a problem. So feel free to go over there to the Real Dana Show and get the rest of this. They're live right now, just like I am. And the Logan clip is live too. Ooh, I'm trying to hold in the bird. So, like I said before, Cash App right over there to support the channel, so I can have some new things going up. I did get that message of someone said, do you still juice? Yes, I do still do some juicing, so I may have to do a hell of a juicing one for y'all, and then show up some clips of the juicing and meals I made at work, because we didn't change things. So the next video will be, Dana is live right now. I don't know if let's go and see what Anthony Logan is talking about, because he's live right now. So this is officially a live running show. Hopefully I can find another live show jumping off. So
Right, gentrifiers, that's you, ma'am. That's you and the people that's right there in front of you. My man right here is from the Ozarks somewhere, and he's living now in DC as a consultant, and he probably living somewhere in a rebuilt home in Southeast.
Yeah, that's
okay,
like
right across from my aunt and them. Okay,
funded.
right over there.
Crowd
Anacostia is okay. You wouldn't have rebuilt that neck of the woods. I see y'all over there too. I see y'all with them new houses, them new builds. I see y'all over there. Y'all not low at all. At all. You're talking to them. See, there go that projection right there. It's projection.
So we say, DCAT, you say, fight back. DCAT, fight back. DCAT, fight back. DCAT, fight back. DCAT, fight back.
Now, I was asking y'all to find Walmart Tavius, to find Jarquoy Fuyan. That's not.
Now, the guy he was pointing at earlier, that's the guy that you know, companies and individuals, people that roll out a whole lot of funding for different parties. They're crowdfunding parties. So some of them, these people is not even real serious protesters. They are paid protesters. So, you know, hey, this thing is getting buck wild. So let's get back and see what the rest is.
Quite a Walmart Tavius. That's more like, you know, that's more like from Oxon Hill, Maryland, where Kim Arbego from. Anyway, now this might be kind of hard to hear, but you have a cop in DC, been on the job 28 years, having a discussion, if you will, with a liberal about the safety of the city and how things have improved. It might be a little hard to hear, but that's the general context. Check it out.
I've lived in Mount Pleasant 21 years. I've been in office 28 years.
So if you guys couldn't hear that, first of all, the caption says the sergeant said the city has been safe for the past 2 weeks. The sergeant has been in office for 28 years. Now, the guy from Iowa, so, again, corn shucker at best, comes to D.C. 21 years ago and then wants to tell the guy who's born and raised in D.C. and been a cop for 28 years that he knows more than him. See, that goes on quite a bit. You are from somewhere else. He born and raised here, a native. His grandma on him probably from D.C. He knows what's happening in the streets from being born and raised and being a cop 28 years. This guy thinks he knows it all and doesn't know much of anything. Okay, because when you're living in certain parts of the city, we living on the west side of the city, I guess you would say. We living in like up there by Silver Spring and stuff like this. What's that, like Northwest? We living over there. You're not experiencing what's happening across the proverbial railroad track of the Anacostia River. You don't know what's going on over on the east.
And that's what I've been saying. So some of these people, normally when you see people that don't look like they're from the quote unquote community where the majority of this eruption of crime is taking place, yes, it is some jacket and stuff like that that's on the landscape of the town, like out here in Los Angeles. This is on our side of the mountain. Now, when they say stuff like the valley, that means that individuals have really went somewhere on the other side of the freeway or further down the freeway and then stirred up some ruckus. And then some individuals, may be having some home invasion robberies following them. Some of that then calm down because now a lot of those neighborhoods have cameras and things like that all throughout the city. I even heard of some cameras and stuff like in Lancaster because of those streets being real long, and so they got like little sensors to where they can beep and know exactly where your car is in Palmdale and Lancaster. So, feel free if you've been seeing these cameras, if you've been seeing the beep, like stuff like that. Like we got weird cameras out here in the city of Los Angeles and they ain't even flashing, but they're up there. So it's something going on. So let's see if he's doing something else right now. Let me see. Not one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find some more. Oh, I really want to show y'all about that school shooter thing, but nah, that might die me down for a minute. So let's see what Paralegal Institute of Washington is saying. So let's check this out.
The federal surge has had a significant increase on crime in Washington, D.C. And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton, and of course it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, y'all, today, this video is all about the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser. She broke the Democratic Party today, y'all. She did something excellent, something laudable, and something that the other Democrats, they can't do for some reason. And we're going to get into it, how Muriel Bowser, she not only broke their main narrative, she not only broke something that they have been saying going all the way back to 2000, to the year 2000 and before, but she also drove a dagger straight through the Democrats' entire platform and made it such that they have to contend with a very harsh reality. So what am I talking about, y'all? I'm talking about the fact that the Democrats have demonized police officers and listen, and I fully acknowledge that in many situations the police have acted badly, but we also have to say, look, on a whole, the police are a force for good, even though there are some rotten apples who have done some terrible things, so we have to acknowledge that. But the Democrats have wanted to demonize the police and treat them as if they were the overall a force for evil. And what Muriel Bowser said today totally undercut all of that, and it showed that when you have effective policing, people can get their lives back together. Lives are not only healed, but they're saved, and that is, surprise, surprise, a good thing. Now, before we get into Muriel Bowser's exact remarks, what I want to do is show y'all just how deep and pervasive I want to say insanity, I don't know what word to use, but just how deep and pervasive this is. Now I made a video yesterday about Brandon Johnson. He couldn't even answer a question about whether more police would be better for his city. At the end of this video, we'll flow right into that, but just take a look at a quick clip of Brandon Johnson and the craziness, so we can kind of give the context for why what Muriel Bowser said is so important. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not gonna make this a long one, y'all.
Look,
okay, but that's not the question I asked.
Make sure your money's free information.
Streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful. If that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with you that all of these other...
Now, I neglected to give Brandon Johnson the illustrious sub 10% approval rating. Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. I unfortunately previously neglected to give him his full title. So there we have it. The illustrious sub 10% approval rating, Mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Now, y'all, just today, Chicago suffered 3 police officers.
We are continuing to follow some breaking news of a police-involved shooting in Inglewood. Gabby is live right now with the latest this morning. Good morning, Gabby.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, Brian, we are on 58th Street, just west of the Dan Ryan Expressway. This is where most of the activity is right now. Now, we have some information from Chicago Police, a spokesperson with them, that says 2 officers are in the hospital with minor injuries. The spokesperson says the officer...
So this is something I showed y'all earlier. So now let me speed it up and get down to what I want to listen to is what that mayor of D.C. had to say about how peaceful and how quiet it is out there in Washington, D.C. Because, you know, Trump went on and cleaned up his house first. Then he said it's time to go handle some other business. So let's check that out. Let me try to find it.
Enforcement and military personnel.
I know that there have...
Look at what Muriel Bowser had to say about that decision just today. Take a look.
And so I want to move on to share with you, and I know that there have been data shared throughout this period, and this is a chart. It's been it shows, and this is the type of categories that the chief reports to me on a weekly basis about what's happening in crime in the district. We've highlighted the area in yellow that shows the impact of the surge of FBI, DEA, ATF, and Park and Capitol Police and other federal agencies in the district. And the federal surge has had a significant increase on crime in Washington, D.C. And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. The most significant thing that we are highlighting today is the area of crime that was most troubling for us in 2023. Now, we have driven it down over the last years, but I'm going to get my glasses so I can make sure I can see it correctly. But for carjackings, the difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction in carjackings in Washington, D.C. We know that when carjackings go down, when the use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down,
did y'all hear that? 80-something% in 20 days difference from last year.
Neighborhoods feel safer and are safer.
So she undercut the entire narrative. You have the mayor of Chicago, Brandon, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, saying we don't want the federal help. You have Michelle Wu in Boston saying we don't want the federal help. They haven't received it. They don't have it. And then you have the mayor of Washington, D.C. saying, thank you for this help. So who should we believe? Should we believe the people who don't want the help but who need it and haven't received it yet? Or should we believe the one who has received the help and now is giving thanks? I think.
Wow. Go over there and check out the paralegal show. I mean, that's a 20 day. That's a 20-day. 20 days. Just by the existence of federal officers, ATF, FBI, and all those boots around the ground, carjacking and went 80% down from last year? Okay. So Chicago, they probably looking at this update and saying, "Wow, you mean this is going to happen in our city?" Hey, let me see if it's some more Chicago feed right out there. Let me see. Oh, Melody, what's going on? Oh, Melody did one on what's wrong inside the Democratic Party. Should we check out that? Let's go see if Logan got some new stuff up. Or commercial is on. And I may show what Melody King showed a few moments ago. Excuse me. Yeah, so all of a sudden I'm getting all commercials. And let's go to the live show of Anthony Brian Logan. And then we can see what's really cracking. Now y'all heard what the paralegal guy said. So let's check out his live show right now. Ready?
Donuts on the LGBTQ LMNOP flag that gets painted on the ground, crosswalks or whatever.
Persona is like America first, like we care about American freedoms and X, Y,
and what he's saying is serious when he mentions being a dictator, although he didn't say he wanted to be a dictator. He just said that people want me to do it. But let's watch this.
Trump supporters are the least patriotic people I've ever seen, and they do not want freedom. Trump said out of his own mouth, a lot of my supporters or whatever want me to be a dictator. He's already been acting like a dictator this entire time. They don't want a free country. They want a dictatorship. And the crazy thing is, I keep seeing a lot of people admit that, and that's horrifying. And again, if that wasn't the case, why would that come out of his mouth? It's funny because these people, their whole persona is like America first, like we care about American freedoms and X, Y, and Z, but they don't. They don't care about freedoms. If they did, they wouldn't want a dictator. And Trump wouldn't recognize that they want a dictator. These are the same people who are on board with people going to jail for a year for burning an American flag. And I see person after person defending this, and that's why I'm convinced the whole FAFO thing isn't a reality for a lot of people, because I'm recognizing that a lot of these people will suffer and suffer and suffer, and they will still continue to support this man.
Okay, there's a lot there. First of all, the American flag. If you think that it's wrong for a person to go to jail for a year for burning the American flag, then it must also be wrong when people get in trouble for doing donuts on the LGBTQ LMNOP flag that gets painted on the ground, crosswalks or whatever.
See, the thing of it is that everything she said coming out of her mouth was like just what do I say? Horrific lies. Just I'm just horrified. Everything is just got to be way out of pocket. People never show evidence of what he said coming out of his mouth, so you can analyze the video and see if it's been cut out. People just say he wanted to say he wanted to be a dictator. So by the time you see that tape, people are gonna have a lot of versions of it. And so let's just get back to this part of the show, man. But man, they are, and it's always be catastrophized. That's what I always say. They always catastrophizing everything, like it's a catastrophe that's going on. And then when you look at their eyes in their face, when they be looking like you can see that they scared, or you don't know if they're an actor and stuff, because paid protesters can get also paid to come online to contest some of the screamers. So don't be surprised. Let's get back to his live show.
If you're here so far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, these two fine gentlemen, I suppose, again, the genders, I don't know what's going on. Back in my day, here go old man shakes fist at cloud. Back in my day, I used to be able to tell a man from a woman immediately. Now, I'm like, I'm looking at the all the features. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So if I gotta do all that, I'm assuming you're a man. If I have to second guess myself, I'm not gonna take too much time trying to examine you. I'm gonna just say you're a man. And if I call a woman, a real woman, a man, I apologize. But it's not my fault. Anyway, let's hear from them talking about Palestine, shall we? All right, let's hear it.
I want to give a special shout out to all the Karen fans Palestinians. Not only are we honored to have you as part of our community, but Palestine is the moral compass of the world.
Man, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, but I had to get out of here. Now I see why he got to like double look, because you know they got all of that drove on. Feel free to go over there and check out his channel. I mean, they up here dressed up like you know. I'm saying, hey, let me see what else is in the feed. This was in the feed. Let me see if the Katir family is doing something, because I'm surprised they ain't live. Oh, man, yeah, man. Okay. Well,
I'm out spending every day. I'm the one that hit that cutting. Shot your cousin in his face. Okay, cool, let's speak them facts. We gon' take it all the way back. Reason niggas mad, they got they cake together. Get the rest put on the side like piece they scratching. Monte being funny like he ain't just see, let's get top. Back, but on the neck, put this in that's like through the help me catch a happy if they stole a promise next. Straight facts, my homie died, ain't make no check out in that car I made him. You still ain't Snake for Nero, yeah, last time I checked you dick right niggas that had put that boy to rest. They cut me news, a park on dump the man. How baby zooing, I'm on board, say no, that boy get right on that. Think this my top, but this a hot, you know I pulled up in some fair. I can't be stopped, fuck out my eyes, look at the too tough for the never like me shook. My boy gon' die, catching me cooking. Tryna play bounce, leave me alone. To call him my phone, they tryna get booked.
Love. I've been having love. Look. Yeah. Duck down, baby, duck down. Hey, shoot like a motherfucker, duck down.
so fair use. That's all. That's the Cartier family show from yesterday. This gives you an idea of what has been exposed. All of these screams being online. Hey, people, this is like giving people a blueprint, or the authorities a blueprint to know exactly what they're dealing with. And I mean, they're coming in hard. Yes, it's some things that happen out here in LA and in Compton. But our law enforcement still need extra officers on the streets up right out here. But watch for sure. They're already talking about splitting up the states. And we saw what was on the news lately. So if you dig in and go on YouTube to see what everybody is talking about, what that school shooting, man. But what I just showed y'all, hey, this is like basically what these brothers do. See? This is the Katir family.
Extremists. That's crazy. She know that black people are the most
people that's committing crimes. 'Cause-
Everyone knows.
So why is she?
Really quickly, Abby, because any
He's a white supremacist.
Man.
That's a white supremacist for trying to put people on the street from murdering other people.
Bro, I'm gonna run one more clip.
I think the reason why you may feel that way, Arthur, is because you maneuver in society with a certain privilege. The question is, who are these?
Well, hold on, what privilege? When I get on the subway, just tell me the privilege. When I'm dressed like this on the subway, I am a target. That is not a privilege. I'm a target. There's the guy who probably has a wallet and a watch.
Arthur, I want you to be
That's not
open.
privilege.
I want you to have a little bit of intellectual curiosity and be open and let me finish my point.
Curious.
Thank you. I think when you ask.
Now, how many of us heard or been in a situation where when you're speaking with one of these individuals at work, on the corner, at the grocery store, in the bank line or wherever, it's like you hear them, you gave them your answer, and they're not accepting it. This is the party that we're dealing with. Even our answers do not matter. No matter how sound or precise or intelligent your answer may be. And then we got our kids in certain colleges that's learning how to adapt to the country the way she's adapted. And look for that video called The Coddling of America. Then you'll see that it's all about catastrophizing, fear, doubt, and worration throughout your walk, while blending in with all these microaggressions. It's like as soon as you go outside, you gotta be on guard for a whole lot of microaggression, even though it may not be there at all. People probably just accidentally bumped into you. But the microaggression is that you're taking it as an attack. And that's how she's doing it. Listen.
The question, who is the militarized law enforcement there to protect, and who are they there to protect from? And so often in this country, particularly, that is how law enforcement swole their ranks. There was so much violence against people of color, black people in particular in this country, that they said it's okay to beat a black person, to murder a black person, but you gotta be wearing a badge when you do it.
Who are the victims?
Do you want to listen, or do you can't talk?
Victimhood. The Al Sharpton says she's the one. The Al Sharpton's everybody, every time something goes down, notice they really want. Hey, imagine lately on the news, police had shot a little kid. Do you know how they would blow this thing out of proportion? It would probably take what happened at that school out the way, because they have something to really point at, like, see, racism this, racism that. And then it would blow something, it blow that story out the way. It would even, forgive me, God, blow out the one where, the mother said her child was kidnapped and they was incarcerated today in Los Angeles. Stuff like that, body bags. Officers then did this. And boy, it better not be no Caucasian officers. But let's listen to the rest of the show.
Talk and listen at the same time. So let me just tell you. It doesn't sound like it. My point to you is, I am telling you on the front lines what is happening, and there are militarized police force going and harassing longtime law-abiding citizens of Washington D.C. And so when we
not in her neighborhood, okay? Do y'all get it? Not in her neighborhood. She probably never even lived in our neighborhood. That's the part that be cracking me up, boy.
Who are probably a little more familiar with American history perhaps than you, look at the military turning the police force on its own people. We remember the examples like Tulsa, when law enforcement dropped bombs on its own community. We know what it is like to have people. We are not so far. We are not so far from that. We are not so. We are actually not so far from that.
We need to bring some numbers into this.
Extremists. That's crazy.
She know that black people are the most people that's committing crimes. 'Cause-
Everyone knows.
So why is she?
Really quickly, Abby, because any
He's a white supremacist.
Man.
That's a white supremacist for trying to put people
We're trying to
on the
save
street
black people.
from murdering other people.
Black people crying about the stuff that's been going
So
on.
why nobody complain about when the babies are getting hit by stray bullets in their neighborhood?
Doesn't serve their
Grandmas
agenda.
and-
The colleges is where it's starting. The white liberal at the colleges are pushing this ideology. They push
Well-
everything anti-Christian, anti-Western, anti-America.
But look,
Even
though,
though the West in
I can't
America
blame
and
them,
all
though.
that is the reason that
I can't
the
blame
world
them,
is
though,
even
bro.
a better place.
It's black people that never went to the hood in their life, and they think that. So if you've never been to the hood and you don't know niggas, then you're not gonna know what.
But
how-
listen,
you're not
hold
gonna
on.
know.
But do
how
you think
niggas
the
act,
white
period.
liberal professors went to the hood?
No.
Okay.
So they're speaking on something they don't know.
That's my point.
So that's why I'm more mad at niggas, because if you know niggas,
Yeah.
then it's your fault.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's the niggas' fault.
That's true.
It's
is.
the black
Okay,
women and the
that's
these
true.
stupid ass pussy
That is
black
also a
men
point.
fault.
I
Yeah.
think it's both false, but I think that when you make it in schools and you're supposed to be a reputable university, Harvard, California, USC, any college in America almost at this point, when they are telling the students, indoctrinating the minds of the youth so that they are raised up thinking that everything Western is bad, everything Christian is bad, then America is bad. That's why Trump says they hate
I'm
America.
gonna keep it 100. We can't blame the liberals because we're messing up our own community, saying there's no problem going on.
But they want this to happen. They want this to happen.
So that's why I'm.
It's all of their faults. It's their fault.
Yeah, so feel free to check out the Katia family shows that they be having. Boy, them youngsters are not playing. So let's see if the real Dana is still alive to see how far she got into her screen. Hopefully, Judge Joe Brown showed up to the party. Because I know Joe don't be too far away when it come to her. See, look, they and I bet you, I knew a commercial was going to be.
$40.
Oh, she's still alive.
Shaka Khan, I want you to know, I won't be watching it. If you endorse that and you approve that, I'm not watching that shit. Not from a lady that looked like a damn gargoyle, looked sickly as hell, and spoke foul shit about us.
So go on their channel, answer their
Good
poll.
luck with that shit. Love you, Shaka. Fuck that bitch.
Here we go again with the curses. I don't understand. Like, why do y'all have? It's like we get it, and it's like, no, I would not be. But here's the thing, though.
And hit my
I know there's about to be a boycott. Yes, we gonna have to boycott this. We're gonna have to boycott it before they even start filming. And they probably already filmed it already. They probably, if it's going to be released in May of 2026, that movie was probably already filmed and being edited. It's already in the can to be edited and released. And it's going to flop. It's going to flop. And so it's a thing to where they say, okay, there's no such thing as bad press. There is, because FBA, Freedmen, ADOS, Black American, we're going to yourself Negro. Phone died. Her phone died. It's at 1%. And she probably forgot that it was low. She probably forgot it was low. Oh, damn. Let me see, son. Are you going to hop? Can you hop on or no?
Oh man,
Can
she
you
lost
hop on?
the other person.
Or
So
no?
so I'll be back. Let's go see what Anthony's doing.
Her phone died.
Fair use. Okay. All right, let's see what the Chi-Town people is really saying, because they ain't saying much about our wow. 7 years old.
To respond to Trump's Department of Justice and their requests for voter data. Political reporter Per Schutz is here with a rundown of some of today's local political.
Weighing in today on the ongoing budget battle at Chicago Public Schools.
And the state hits a deadline to respond to Trump's Department of Justice and their requests for voter data. Political reporter Per Schutz is here with a rundown of some of today's local political stories. So let's start, Paris, with the first one and the budget. What did the governor have to say?
Well, the governor is throwing cold water on the notions that Springfield's going to come to the rescue for CPS's financial woes. And let's catch everybody up. The board has to vote on this budget that closes the $734 million budget gap by next Thursday. Right now, as it stands, there are 10 members that oppose the budget, 9 members that support it. The issue is, if that stays the same, then schools could shut down. They would reject the budget and not have a budget. CTU and Mayor Johnson want the schools to take on some new borrowing and to pay a pension payment, saying, well, Springfield owes us money, and so that's how we'll pay it back. But the governor said today that money is not coming from the state.
Wow. All right.
What CTU and the mayor are talking about, which is, providing another $1 billion or $1.6 billion for Chicago Public Schools, that's just not going to happen. And it's not because we shouldn't. We should. We should try to find the money, but we don't have those resources today. And we're not going to see the resources from the...
He said we should find the money. Yeah, y'all put the money in your pocket. Take a cut in your salary. That's what they ought to do. Show people clearly, directly, where did those lottery winning done and things, specifically what school did they go to. See, but watch them try to blame it on you know who. See, because it's not like they wasn't warned that the Board of Education, which was created in 1983 or somewhere over there. It was created in 1983, and a whole lot of that funding was hard to track because oversized government. That's what they want back. Let's listen to the rest.
Federal government level either.
So what's next in this regard for that, the budget?
Well, again, that vote is on Thursday, and there's an intent. The DOJ has a legal right.
From the state of Illinois, that's in voter registration information.
An unprecedented situation. To pass the budget, everything is fine. If not, it's an unprecedented situation.
Let's talk about deadline day, voter registration information. We're talking about driver's license numbers. We're talking about social security numbers. Is it in the DOJ's?
Do you know what I saw? Hey, I seen some SEIU members right out there too. That's what I was looking for. That tripped me out. Welcome to the show, Greg. Did you see them SEIU members out there? They just everywhere. Look, they just everywhere. I said, wait a minute. There it is. Look.
That vote is on Thursday.
They're out there too. Look, they out there too. Do y'all see that? SEIU. I mean, I didn't have enough, man. I didn't have enough. Check this out.
And there's an intense battle right now to flip that vote. If they flip one vote, then they have the support to pass the budget. Everything is fine. If not, it's an unprecedented situation.
Let's talk about.
Did you notice that person had that film camera, the one that's in right on the stick? So let's get out of this. Something else I was looking for. Bag it up. And let's strip off of this one. This just came up 13 hours ago.
I'm someone who has a master's degree in education, which I am still paying for. And I have the opportunity to go work for McDonald's in Boulder for more than I would make as a sub.
She has a.
Wow. Did y'all see that? She's got a master's degree and working for McDonald's because she makes more there than as a teacher, as a substitute teacher. Wow. Let me hear this.
Master's degree in education, and despite that, this substitute teacher could make more money as a crew member at McDonald's. Tonight, we're learning that not all substitute teachers across our state are paid the same. Your reporter Sarah Horbakowitz covers Boulder County for you tonight and joins us live in studio, taking a deeper look at these numbers from Boulder Valley School District. Sarah,
look at that. Wow.
This is really eye-opening.
When the substitutes first told me their pay at BVSD, I had to look at these numbers comparing to McDonald's pay for myself. So I looked up job openings at McDonald's in Boulder, offering a starting pay of $19 to $21 an hour.
How does that $19 to $21 an hour compare to what you found at BVSD?
Right. If you look over here, BVSD, like most districts, pay per day instead of per hour. But if you divide it by the hours that they're working, it comes out to about $16.67 an hour. And while these aren't full-time positions, it's still income that substitutes rely on. And some tell me these rates are sending them elsewhere. Boulder Valley School District serves families in some of the most expensive places in central Colorado, but their pay for substitute teachers is among the lowest.
I realized as a licensed and educated professional, I'm being paid less than many fast food workers in the community.
When your child's teacher has to miss class, Crystal Gallegos is one of the substitutes that could take their place. But because of pay, she started looking for work elsewhere.
So I'm not sure if parents really know this is happening in their schools. But as a parent of a child who was in kindergarten last year, it made me nervous when I saw my child's teacher's name and no one was picking that job up.
So,
wow. Wow, that's so sad. That's sad. That's sad. Nobody ain't even, where's the union at on that? They sitting down, they wearing the purple shirt. They ain't gonna say nothing. They're not saying nothing about it. That's happening even at my job. Some of the individuals there is holding on that they become into a permanent position. So, wow. So let's get back to the other part of the show. And I guess I might as well wrap it up for now. Wait a minute. And let me see if there's any Chicago stuff out there. Because y'all know. We looked at that one, this one. Let's look at it for what's on top of the hill. Ready? Look at that. Fair use. This is on top of the hill.
Good morning and welcome to Rising. We've got another just wonderful show for you today on this Wednesday morning, I believe, although it feels more like a Thursday, I think. It's a Wednesday in disguise as a Thursday.
It's a wondrous Wednesday, Robbie. We'll have lots to discuss. Coming up on Rising, Jack Smith is firing back at the watchdog investigation against him. His legal team says it is without merit.
Plus, good news for Uncle Herschel. Cracker Barrel says that they're reinstating that old logo we all love so much. Oh, isn't that nice?
Oh, fantastic. President Trump is facing pushback from some on the right over his willingness to accept 600,000 Chinese students into the U.S.
We had a murder-free week last week, thanks in part to the inarguable about increasing federalization of law enforcement because we don't want to live in a police state. The Democratic Party to move ever so slightly, a little bit, closer to the average voter's views on some issues like crime and policing. Many polls show broad public support for President Donald Trump's efforts to reduce crime, which have included deploying federal troops to Washington, D.C. Now, we should remain vigilant about increasing federalization of law enforcement because we don't want to live in a police state, and while also recognizing the inarguable successes associated with such an approach. Namely, D.C. finally had a murder-free week last week, thanks in part to the presence of the National Guard. Trump thinks that what worked in D.C. could work elsewhere, and has suggested that other big cities beset with crime problems could benefit from an influx of federal troops and/or resources. Chicago is one of those cities, but its far-left mayor, Brandon Johnson, is opposed to Trump's plan. And when pressed by Morning Joe on whether the city should accept federal help, here's what Johnson said.
You believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no, do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer?
Johnson simply refused.
And look, that's MSNBC, and they be getting liberal, and now they can't even get one of their right questions out. And he is like more liberal than them. Wow. So, and then let's get back to what they're talking about.
To directly answer the question and mention that he thought other things are more important than law enforcement. And so Morning Joe asked again.
If that's complemented by having that
complicated. If you have more police, you will get less crime. Except for the most far-left scholars of criminology, experts, even those who support criminal justice reform, as I do, agree that when you have more members of law enforcement patrolling the streets, busting the bad guys, and clearing cases, well, yes, you get less social disorder, not as many.
Now, let's go back to what we've seen on the paralegal show, and I can wrap this up because, boy, that D.C. mayor, she shocked me on what she said. I just gotta show y'all, and we gotta hear that again. So let's check this out. Let me get my glasses on too. It's right over here. It's right. Where's the paralegal? Right here. Man, she dropped it. Here it is. Fair use. Go over and check out the show.
Take a look at what Muriel Bowser had to say about that decision just today. Take a look.
And so I want to move on to share with you, and I know that there have been data shared throughout this period, and this is a chart. It shows, and this is the type of categories that the chief reports to me on a weekly basis about what's happening in crime in the district. We've highlighted the area in yellow that shows the impact of the surge of FBI, DEA, ATF, and Park and Capitol Police and other federal agencies in the district. And the federal surge has had a significant increase on crime in Washington, D.C. And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. The most significant thing that we are highlighting today is the area of crime that was most troubling for us in 2023. Now, we have driven it down over the last years, but I'm going to get my glasses so I can make sure I can see it correctly. But for carjackings, the difference between this period, this 20-day period of this federal surge and last year represents a 87% reduction in carjackings in Washington, D.C. We know that when carjackings go down, when the use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer.
So she undercut the entire narrative. You have the mayor of Chicago, Brandon, the illustrious sub 10% approval rating mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, saying we don't want the federal help. You have Michelle Wu in Boston saying we don't want the federal help. They haven't received it. They don't have it. And then you have the mayor of Washington, D.C. saying thank you for this help. So who should we believe? Should we believe the people who don't want the help but who?
So it goes to say, who should we believe? So with that there, I've been an hour and 5 minutes in, and I'd like to thank y'all for coming to the show. I'm trying to find this school clip I've seen earlier, and I'll be back. Until then, remember that recovery is an inside job. If you feel like donating to the channel, the Cash App is right there up under MC Recovery Reacts. Figure out a way of how to get that in there, and then we can have newer and funner things with the channel. Until then, remember, recovery